Hi everybody. I hope I am audible. So in this video, I'll try to explain a little bit about uh, Databricks cluster, things like that. 1 second. I do not want my camera on. So for the time being, I'll paste it for my privacy. I think this will work. Yeah. So guys, we can start now. I'll try to teach you a little bit about. I hope my screen is sharing and it's visible. I'll check that on my phone. That is it sharing or not. 1 second. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon. Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you? Hmm. No, not for upskilling. I'm looking for to teach. Yeah, I've registered at your platform today only. Hmm. Yeah, I have corporate experience. I've worked with two good companies in Bangalore. It's MNC, Students and Simoy. For more flexibility, I'm thinking of going self-employed. So I've left my job and I started my own thing. Thinking to get more freedom just. Yeah. Sure, brother. I have both data engineering analyst experience and web development experience, React Node.js experience. But yeah, data engineering more. Sure, brother. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, brother. Sorry about that. I will cut that from the final video. Let's start it. I hope my screen is visible. Let me check that on my phone. Yeah, I think it's visible. So I can start now. Let's go. Uh, I'm really sorry there's dog barking here all the time. So once again. Yeah. So at the very core, we'll try to understand. At the beginning, we'll try to understand what what is cluster. We'll try to understand what is cluster, right? At the very beginning, we'll understand it. Okay. So a cluster in Databricks can be stated as a set of computation resources. So cluster is nothing but it is a virtual machine. Try to understand this. It is a virtual machine which can also be said like a Spark runtime environment. Like we have virtual machines, like it's just a computer. It's a compute resource which do calculations, kind of like the brain does, right? In actuality, uh, this cluster. is what that is executing your notebooks, it is executing your job, your SQL query, your ML pipeline, everything. So you pay uh, one second. So you pay for the compute resource as long as your compute resources are running. So like if do not leave it for like very long. That's a bad set limits. Set like there's many type of clusters like according to jobs, or if you are doing testings, there are like many types of cluster available in. Let the aeroplane pass. There are many type of clusters available in Databricks. In Databricks, like Databricks is like it's not just PySpark, this Unity catalog, a lot of things in Databricks. It's a holistic thing. You can build the whole pipeline workflow in Databricks. But today we'll focus about cluster, and clusters like is a very journal terminology across the IT field, right? We see clusters everywhere because we need compute resources everywhere. So let's go toward the type of cluster. So let me try to explain the types. So types can be like interactive, or you can say all purpose cluster. Number one is interactive. This can be one type. Number one is interactive. This can be one type. Okay. Number two is like job cluster. Number three is high concurrency cluster. These are the three major types of clusters. Obviously, we are like, because I teach PySpark as well, I'm teaching this thing. These are the three types of cluster. This high concurrency, a lot of people are not aware about it. Basically, for BI purposes, like business intelligence dashboard, like yeah, things like that. And let's try to understand interactive clusters in more details. Once again, let's try to understand. Well, so interactive can also be said as all-purpose clusters. One second, let me open a new space. I'll trying to teach interactive one. My writing is not good, guys. Please bear with me. So interactive can also be said as all-purpose cluster. I didn't know my writing is not poor. So this interactive cluster, sorry guys, this this interactive cluster is especially made for data scientists. So they use like all-purpose cluster all the time. It is for engineers as well. There's a lot of data engineers on my channel. So yeah, and analyst always. So this is just to experiment and explore. It does not use with the workflows. So it is used when you are writing code in notebooks. Like at that time, you will use all-purpose cluster, right? Whether you are using Python, R, Scala, SQL on your notebook, you will use this cluster uh, to do all kind of what I say testing. So basically, remember it is useful for testing. So basically, all-purpose testing part, right? It is not optimized for like job running. So it's all purpose, as the name suggests, interactive also. Yeah, you are running notebook, so it's kind of interactive, right? So I think the name is in itself very explanatory. Let's move forward. And yeah, this is always available when you are working. Unlike job clusters that start per job. So we'll go to the job cluster, we'll see there. So let's try to understand about like key use cases. So the key use cases is, let me write down uses. So uses can be like EDA, right? So I hope you guys know about EDA. It's like a very common terminology, but still a lot of people forget about it. I understand. It's like exploratory data analysis. You are doing plotting, distributing, trying out join, checking schemas, trying to make sense out of the data, trying to understand the structure of data. You are doing exploring, you are doing data analysis, the analysis of data, exploratory data analysis. And like other uses would be like when you are doing development or prototyping, like building a pipeline, trying different functions, testing. Other thing is like when you are collaborating, like multiple team member can attach notebooks to the same cluster and share live result on Databricks. This is very very possible. So what did we do, like ad hocs. uh, yeah, one can be EDA, exploratory data analysis. Other one use cases would be ad hoc. So these are for interactive one, right? We are talking about the interactive, which is the all purpose. See how many jobs we are doing. And then there is like development, for that also we can use. And then there is collaboration. For that also we use the all purpose. Now let's try to understand how to configure this. It auto scales, it auto termination. You can apply, like for example, if the cluster is idle for like 30 minutes, right? You understand what I'm trying to say. You can choose a balanced node type, not too small, not too expensive. Like since the workload varies, you are in the development process. You can also choose the cluster mode, like usually standard. Each user has a dedicated driver rather than high concurrency, right? So let's try to understand a very important thing, when not to use. So I'll just try to use this and cut it. So these are not uses. So it is not good for production pipeline. Number one, not ideal for BI dashboard. Why? Because high concurrency cluster handles multiple queries better, like we said, right? So these are the places where you're not using, like for the production pipeline and for the BI dashboard. Not ideal for these cases. All right. Prod. I hope you are making notes, or just download the video. You do not need to watch on YouTube directly. Just download and watch whenever you want. Right. Prod or BI. So these are the things. I hope the stream is going live properly. Yeah. Okay. Let's move forward. So these were about the interactive part. Now we'll see about the other cluster. What was the other cluster? The other cluster was job cluster. So let's understand. So the job cluster. So I'll try to explain in detail. Yeah, let's understand a temporary cluster created only for a duration of job, right? It's a temporary cluster which is created only for the duration the job is running. For example, the job can be ETL, it can be batch pipeline, it can be scheduled processes, all these things, right? Awesome. So so the thing is, after the job finishes, the cluster automatically get destroyed, which saves us Our lovely thing. What is our lovely thing? Our lovely thing is dollar. Let's make out of it. How about that? Let's make one more heart. So it save it, right? Why it save it? Because as soon as the job completed, it's automatically get destroyed. So the key use cases, as the name suggests, it's designed for job. So key use cases would be schedule ETL pipeline on Databricks, I think, and just write P. You understand its pipeline. So data ingestion from sources, cleaning, and loading into warehouses. It's the what is ETL pipeline, right? I guess from data engineering background. Okay, and then there is like machine learning training job, and then there is batch processing. These are the key use cases. For configuration, let the vehicle pass. For configuration, we usually define inside the job configuration. Once again, we can set like node type, DBR version, auto scaling, and spin it up accordingly as per requirement. If the data volume increases from the sources, we might need to alter the configuration. DBR version also, auto scaling, we can set up all this thing. So nowadays, no manual intervention is needed. You can make a very scalable cluster. So you do not, your pipeline not gonna fail. Don't worry about it. Maybe in some other class, I'll learn more about scaling and teach you guys. So the other thing is when not to use this job cluster, when you are doing ad hocs. Ad hocs, you are not supposed to use. Understand it, right? I'll put it with red for you to get it. Okay, I do not have red. I have red. I designed this app. Okay. This you are not supposed to use. When not to use for collaborative notebooks as well. Should I continue with red? I like red a little bit. Anyway, I'll go back to black. Okay. So, and the final one, I'll write it. What is it? High. What is it, guys? High currency cluster. Yeah, you got it right. So the purpose is like for like it's a shared cluster. It's a shared cluster that can handle many short concurrent query from multiple users slash tools. It can handle a lot of queries, right? So it is optimized for SQL endpoints, structured query language, and BI dashboard. So this cluster is especially used when you are working with Tableau, Power BI, Databricks SQL, things like that. So let's come toward the key uses. Obviously, the uses include for the high currency cluster, the uses include BI. It include like dashboarding is also a part of dashboarding is also a part of BI. It include dashboard. It include interactive SQL analytics. All these things, right? So how do we configure it? Uh, so we can like do the configuration like it uses a shared driver instead of individual one for like better resource utilization and to make it more approachable with multiple users. It has a low latency setup. It prioritizes fast responses even on heavy ETLs, right? The latency is low, response time is low. I'll raise my volume because there's a lot of noise coming from outside. It needs grain security, so you can assign like access to like even at the granularity level. uh, we have unity catalog, ACLs, all these things. When not to use it, we should not use it for like long running spark job. Let it pass. We should not. So when not to use it, we should not. I'll use red now. So when not to use it, is it red? It's still dark. Anyway, when not to use it. When we should not use it for long running spark job like proper ETS ML training. It's actually not useful when there is heavy shuffle workload. I hope that makes sense. I think this is enough for this video. Thank you so much, guys.